Hello everyone, it's Kate Plays back again with another video, and this time we are at Coral Cove in a different spot than usual. If you take a right off of the ship instead of a left towards the marsupial loop where we have been recently, you will find a new adventure, which we're going to tour today. So Coral Cove is not only a haven for land animals of the Oceania region, but also hosts a magnificent small coral reef in its cove, hence the name. So supervised scuba tours and snorkel tours are offered at Coral Cove to those who have a scuba diving certification and take a short safety seminar with our guides prior to diving. So here we are, just about to be looking at the Scuba Stop, which is a shop that you can stop by to rent your gear if need be prior to your dive or snorkel tour. Yeah, so I just extended and recolored the hut that was already on the Oceania map, but let's check it out and see what we got. I may add a little bit more detailing here before finishing up the sanctuary, but we have the counters from the gift shop update and some of their shelves, which help to save on piece count, thankfully, and some scuba and snorkeling gear that I made. So I figured here would be a good time to insert a quick speed build section of how I made all of this scuba gear. So first I started out with the scuba tank, and to make the tank I used art shapes and made a cylinder. I added the top part with a full stop, and I added a hose tap for that connecting area, and I soon realized it was off scale thanks to the archer. So I took out the long cylinder and I built it up with a few smaller options before coloring it yellow, which I did see a lot in reference photos when I was looking at scuba tanks, and silver, but that didn't look good, it just looked gray. I then embellished it with a screen, which I did not see that on any reference photos, but oh well, and a warning label, which I did see a lot of in the photos. I made it from a switch, flipped around, and then some brackets as text. I then used a gutter half pipe bracket, and I turned it around and I colored it like a red color to top off the safety label that would be on the scuba tank. Next, I moved on to the mask and snorkel for the scuba gear, and for that I used a blueprint of some binoculars that I had used in my Moose Lodge video for the community zoo. You can check that out. And I turned that into the eye and nose portion of the mask. I then used another gutter bracket for the head strap, which worked out pretty well. I searched forever for something that would work as a snorkel, but I really couldn't find anything, so I settled for the egg and then a flower pot foot section, that little foot piece, and that made the mouth area. It's not exactly perfect, but I really do like it. I think it gets the job done pretty well for the mask and snorkel. From there, you're going to see me begin working on the flippers, and those are made from an Australian sign rectangles, and I colored them all black, and then I kind of shaped them into the shape of flippers. And then I use that same bracket I use here for the head strap of the mask as the foot strap of the flipper, which I feel like they're probably too big in real life. I don't know. In some images, some of the flippers looked rather large. Maybe it depends on how you are scuba diving or where you're diving. You let me know. But they end up looking good in the end. And lastly is the wetsuit, which is really just a rectangular piece that is colored black. And then to make the arms and legs, I actually studied the archer in finding out what the arms and legs are made of there. And it's actually just two gutter pieces facing each other. So I then did that for the arms and legs of the wetsuit. And then what's not filmed is I added a zipper to the front by coloring a rope segment and then using a hinge to imply the pull tab segment. And that was thanks to a suggestion at Gunther's Gaming Discord community. So make sure to check that out. It's been linked in a few descriptions. So that's how I made the scuba gear. I will share a link for the workshop blueprint to the scuba gear in the description for y'all. And as you can see, we have a small store of scuba gear and snorkel gear here at Coral Cove, but luckily there is enough for us to rent some and take a scuba tour now. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be lots of fun. We have the meeting spot right over here. This is where the group would go ahead and meet up with the scuba instructor and guide, Steve, to complete the safety seminar and begin the tour. There is a beach hangout area as well. It's over to the left of us from here for those who are just wanting to maybe enjoy the views after a long walk around the sanctuary. So let's go ahead and get in the water and begin our scuba tour. Here we are looking at Coral Cove Reef. We have a nice little ledge here to drop off to when we're starting our dive tour. And as you can see, there is a rich and diverse reef here due to it's being protected from the waves because it's a cove. And also there's really nutrient-rich soil that's left over from the volcanic eruptions many, many years ago. The tour hugs the reef around to the left. This side has a shallower slope. That way it has allowed for more corals and marine life species to really settle on that side of the cove. You can see as we come around here, our resident octopus. The entrance to the cove as we come around has a bit of a current to it, so you might see us get pushed a little bit. So don't be shocked. Lots of marine life to look at. Oh, here we go. You can see we've got lots of different coral species and fish species. Here's our clownfish. And as we begin to pass over our friendly reef shark here, I thought I would show you how I put together this reef. I mainly used 2 blueprints to help me out here, which I will link in the description. And I'm going to add those to a Coral Cove collection. One is called Natural Coral Pieces and Sets by Panglopus, and the other is Drax Fish and Aquarium Set. I basically just layered those down, and once I knew what pieces were what, I could replicate them for the reef, and then I slowly added in different fish and marine life to the cove. Pro tip: the water here does not want to go back to the same level if you remove it. So don't do that. If you're going to make a reef, just turn the transparency down to 0 on the water and begin building. I ended up blueprinting my reef to put it back at one point due to this. But back to the scuba tour, we've got to stay attentive here in the water. As you can see, we have many different species of fish. We have the clownfish that we saw, many different tang and angel species. We also have some reef sharks and a few different ray species that you'll see around. You got to see our octopus at the very beginning of our tour, and you have many different starfish and different species of crustaceans. We have so many different coral species. As you saw on the side of the reef that's most vibrant, we've got table coral, flower pot coral, organ pipe coral, finger coral, honeycomb coral, common mushroom coral, many more species. As you can see, we took the tour at the best time of the day when the vibrant side of the reef is really in the sunlight and glowing. but there are several species that call this side home as well. I highly recommend checking out those blueprints. I don't know how Drac does what he does with those marine life and bird and other workshop items he has, but definitely check those out. And the coral one makes it nice and easy to make yourself your own reef. So as we make our way around the cove, this does bring us to the end of the scuba tour. The ledge we started at makes a perfect spot to depressurize before heading back up and take one last look around the beautiful Coral Cove Reef. If you have not seen it already or don't follow her already, I have started a collaboration project with the wonderful Sparrow 838, and it's called Cactus Creek. Be sure to check out that first episode over on her channel. I'll make sure to link it. And be sure to be on the lookout for new episodes of Coral Cove Wildlife Sanctuary coming soon. I thank you all so much for joining me here at Coral Cove Reef today for our scuba tour. I hope you all have enjoyed this little something different. I wish you all a fantastic rest of your evening or day, whatever it may be, where you are. And happy zookeeping, everyone. I'll see you all next time.